Hello and welcome to Revive and Rise. I'm your host, Melody Parrish, and we have a very special guest today. With us is Jennifer Gill. She's an author, she's a solo mom, and has a podcast. So talented, a talented individual from Canada, Vancouver, Canada, with us. So I thank you, Jennifer, for joining us today, and I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Yes. So can you tell us a little background?
Sure. This journey actually started with my oldest was 1998 when I had her. I never really thought that I would be a solo parent, and then my other child was born in 2001. They had some health issues a little bit, like with eczema and everything. And then in 2007, this is where all starts to crumble a little bit. My mother-in-law passes away, and my husband is studying to become a professor. My father-in-law is a little devastated because he just lost the love of his life, his partner, his friend, I guess, whatever you want to call. So we were trying to adapt to the new situation where it was only going to be three adults and two children instead of having another adult, because my mother-in-law's um, death was a sudden. She had was diagnosed with colon cancer in um, July 4th, and she passed away July 28th of 2007. So basically, starting then, I was working for transit, so I was leaving the house by 7. I wasn't coming home till after 7, so I would do dinners the night before, have the kids ready for school, their lunches, anything that needed to be done. So that was kind of getting overwhelming. The kids were starting to grow up now, and then time demanded me more. Where now my husband actually got a full time job. He moved to Saskatchewan, which is another province. It's about 2 hour flight from Vancouver, and he there. And then I had my father in law who was getting older in age. Um, I've also at the same time lost my father. My mom was taking a dive for the worse, and my kids wanting attention because now they're teenagers. So I was being pulled in every direction you can think of. But I was handling it. I didn't mind it because I was strong enough. But at the same time, I was also having health issues as well. So with everything, there was times where, I just thought, you know what, I need to find another job because I got to be home with the kids. I got to, if something happens to my mom, I need to be there to take her to the doctor or emergency or whatever. And my father-in-law, same thing. I had to be there. So, um, came up to about 24 where I met this gentleman. He's been my mentor. He's been my coach. He's done everything for me. He's been awesome. He has been helped me to write my book and share my story. So that's how that has come around. I'd never realized until last year that I'm a solo parent. When he pointed it out and he said, like, you need to let the world know that this is what you've gone through. So that's kind of like my story in brief. And my book is available on Amazon.com if anybody's interested, or it's actually basically anywhere in the States, really, because my mentor is based in the States. So he helps me a lot. I've also got a podcast happening on Spotify and Apple Podcast, and I've got a stand store where you can purchase newsletters, and there's also a freebie. So every month you'll be getting a newsletter from me.
And what's the name of your book for our listeners?
The book is called Solo Parenting Jennifer Gill, because there is other books on solo parenting, but I've got Solo Parenting Jennifer Gill so that they know that this is written by me. So it's like a guidebook. I've got my story in the beginning, and then I've got other for single moms, some other stuff for financially, or if they need to like find some stuff that it's in there, so they don't have to do the research. I've done the research for them.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yes,
We all need people that can kind of help us, right? That
exactly,
can guide
exactly.
us. Um, can you talk about anyone in your journey that has helped you in a profound way?
I guess my mom was there always, like looking at helping me with the kids, but my job financially was basically supporting me and just kind of budgeting a little bit and not kind of eating out and getting the kids to kind of doing stuff because they were having issues with schools and studies. So where I had to find kind of discount um, tutors for them to help them navigate the way. So there was an awesome school tutor that actually I found, and he would not charge me that much, knowing that I was kind of fixed income,
Mhm.
and he helped me to have tutors for these guys, my kids, and he did an amazing job, and they graduated.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's the thing. We all need a little help and we get it from interesting places and unexpectedly. Would you say that?
100%, because you kind of rely on family and friends to help you, but I found that family really didn't help. It was more friends being supportive or somebody unknown that became friends with you
Mhm.
to support you. So I thank God for these people that came into my life to help me, especially my mentor.
Mhm.
I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for him.
Oh, and you said that he was in the States, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you meet him?
Well, it's a really weird thing. He was posting on Facebook and it would show up on my reels, and I would be going through Facebook and I would like the video because it just kept popping up. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. He was into digital marketing at the time, and I thought, oh, that would be kind of interesting to do. So he responded back and he says, oh, I see that you like my videos, anything particular? And then I would give him the details a little bit. And then we kept talking. But I had been scammed so many times previously that I was a little reluctant to talk to him too much. And then he, excuse me, he goes, "Oh, can I call you?" And I said, "Sure." So he called, and then we were talking, and then I'm still skeptical. I'm like I don't know this person, and then I got to be careful because I've been scammed before, and I don't like. There's nobody else that knows him that I know of through Facebook friends. But actually, he was really genuine, so I'm very grateful for that. So, that
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, it's these people that we just meet. I know friends and family are so important
yeah,
and they're so supportive, and I'm not trying to discount that,
yeah,
but sometimes it's those people that you have maybe 1 or 2 moments with that make such a huge difference.
100%, hundred
Now,
percent.
you said that you worked with transit,
Yeah,
correct? So
yes,
I bet you saw many people
oh yeah,
throughout the day.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
I know that you made a big difference in their lives.
yes,
Just taking them wherever they needed to go.
yeah.
Um, can you talk about an instance, or can you think about an instance where somebody really had a big impact on your life at work?
Um, I guess so. The drivers previously that when I used to work for a bank, there was a few drivers that I met. It was not passengers. I can't really remember the top of my head right now for passenger wise, but I'd be really grateful for these drivers because I would sit there and chit chat, and I was just a passenger on the bus. Sorry, this is kind of a little bit different, but they made a huge impact on me to get the job for transit. And so because of this, I wanted to return the favor back to the passengers. So if I could help somebody going from destination to destination A B, because sometimes people want to take the bus and they're just kind of really down on their luck for financially. So if somebody needed a free ride, I'm not going to say no, because there could be a time in my life where if I didn't have it, I would be looking for that. And there was actually a time where I actually had to take my mom to an eye specialist, an appointment, and my visa was racked. I had no money in my bank account. I was like totally struggling. But and when you go for parking, then you got to pay money, and I did not have anything. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Because if I don't pay parking, I could get a worse ticket, or I got to move the car to somewhere else. So which I did. So there was times where I was down on my luck too. So I have been struggling.
Mhm. Yeah, so that kind of made you empathetic to people.
Yes, yes,
Then it's
yes,
kind of like a way to pay things forward
yes,
in life, like a ripple effect.
100%.
Yeah. That's awesome. And that's what we're talking about this month, about the ripple effect of things and how being kind will help. Um, can can you give talk to us a little bit about being a solo parent and the struggles you had? You had two children. Were they teenagers at the same time?
Yes, they're about 2 years and 10 months apart. I had my lot of struggle shares financially, because they were really picky eaters. They had health issues, so I had to really pick. And they were not wanting to eat at home all the time. They wanted to go to McDonald's, the Wendy's. They were always like, okay, can we do this? Can we do that? And because I was working 12 hours, I was I was actually letting them eat. That's kind of my fault too, because I was tired. I was I was thinking, okay, I have the money. If they want to eat, they're happy. I will do that. So there would be times when I'd be just totally mentally, physically drained, and I was just, okay, you know what? Just charge everything on Visa, let them eat whatever they want. At least they'll be happy. I know it wasn't good for them, but I didn't have the energy working 12 hours either. So,
Right.
yeah,
Right, and I feel like so many people just don't understand that. Like,
yeah,
it's easy to say, "Oh, well, you can do better," you can provide your children with all this good food or provide your children with a better house or live in a better neighborhood or things like that is easy to say, but it's hard to do, especially
it is.
when you're working 12 hours and you're tired because you're a human being.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about just when you face those struggles?
Um, trying to think. Sorry, can you repeat that question a little bit again so I can?
Yeah, like you were talking about how it was a struggle. You knew things were bad, but you were so tired that that
Yeah,
was all you could do. And
yeah,
and sometimes that is all we can do. We're just human beings.
yeah.
So can you talk about times when maybe when you were a human being, when you were tired, when you were frustrated, and how you dealt with that? You know, for all of
Sure.
our single mothers out there that are just feeling the pressure.
Yeah. When I would be really tired or I'd be like not feeling well, there's times where I'd just be totally drained. Um, I would actually just look at my kids' faces, get the energy, or pop some vitamins also to help me. Or I would reach out to some friends to help me to get the energy so that I could go ahead and do stuff for my
Mhm.
kids or my father in law. Because now my husband is actually gone, and my father in law was eating food typically from the outside, like Subway or pizza or whatever. But then he wanted to just to have the typical Indian food that had to be made. So what I would do is the night that I came home from work or my weekends, I would kind of prepare the food a little bit so that he could just heat up and then eat. Because he said to me, he goes, I know it's hard for you. So if you could just leave the food for me, I can just heat it up myself and I will eat it. And for the kids, him being there for as a blessing, he would pick them up just to make sure it was safe for them because they're both girls to come home. And then once my oldest graduated, he would take the little one to school and then bring her back. Even though she was high school level, but mentally she hadn't been grown up. She was a little late bloomer.
Mhm.
But the older one was starting to go to college. So where she had her time demanded on her for studies. So they're both kind of doing things. And then their sports like soccer, their basketball, swimming, I have to be taken on that. So
Yeah, so it sounds like you had a lot going on with
yes,
2
yes,
children, an ailing, father-in-law, and an ailing mother, right?
yes, yes,
So yeah, and then you have to take care of yourself.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
and I feel like a lot of solo parents are going through this struggle
Yeah,
in emotionally and physically. Um, can you talk more about that? And if you have any suggestions to help?
sure. I guess my mom being there, like I would rely on her for support a lot, like just not physically or mentally, but just like kind of talking to her to ask her what I could do better. And she'd be a great help. Or I would have friends with me and get them to help me, like just mentally kind of like walk me through it or just give me suggestions. And also, um, I'm very, I guess you can say religious, where I relied really heavily on my faith too to get me through this and give me the strength that I needed. So that helped a lot. And then every morning, sometimes I would be down and I'm just like, okay, why me? But then when I looked at my kids' faces, I said, you know what? This is all worth it. Once they're finished studying, they got their jobs, they're settled, then I can take it easy. But it'll be all worth it at the end.
Yes, yes, seeing your children happy and healthy. Right. That's
So,
wonderful and great advice, you know, the faith and the looking forward and spirituality and those
yeah,
kind of and family.
yeah,
Those are so important.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk a little more about your book?
So my book is on Amazon.com. It has a little bit of the story in the beginning. Um, I there like a chapter or so of the book. I kept it really brief, but I've done research for everybody else. So where you could kind of reach out to your church, you could reach out to other people for food, shelter, the YMCA. So just where if somebody was looking for the stuff, because you know when you're overwhelmed, you're struggling, you kind of need a lot of help. So, and sometimes, financially you can't afford it and you can't think. So, I've done the research for you. So, it's all in there. And all you have to do is kind of just look it up. So, made it a lot easy for somebody.
Right, because some of us, we need help, but we
Mm.
don't know what to do, how to ask for it, where to go.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's great.
Yeah.
So how were you able to find these resources?
I did a lot of research. Like my mentor that I said was in the States, he helped me too.
Mhm.
So because I'm in Canada, he's in the States, so we kind of combined our stuff together, and then we would go back and forth on our stuff, and then he would send it to me, I would send it back, and then eventually putting it together. And his wife is actually working for a publishing company where she actually got everything and then put the book together, and then I would go through it, the outlines and everything, and then finally do the proofreading, and then they would do the proofreading, then I would come back and find the mistakes and then go back and forth for a while, and then having it produced. And then when the final copy came out, I gave the final approval, so then it was published and put onto bookstore shelves.
Oh, nice, nice. So it sounds like you have gotten a lot of help,
Yeah.
and it sounds like you're a professional with
Thank you.
this. Writing the book, knowing how to research, and I love that because it's so important. I feel like at this day and time, nobody, it seems like, wants to take that extra step to research things and to learn more. So I love that you helped in that way to make it easier. Can you talk more about that? What have you learned from this experience?
What I actually learned is when I first thought it was just me that going through this, nobody else. But when my mentor said that this is a huge issue for a lot of people, and then you'll be helping a lot of women, but then it occurred to me that I wasn't alone. There's other people, and if I can make a difference in somebody else's life, that would be amazing. Because, like they say, we come down on the earth to do something or do our share. So this is my way of sharing with the world that, you know what, you're not alone. We are here for you, and there's a tribe. And I've also got a Facebook group, so it's called Solo Parenting, where there's other women that are on there as well. And I've done some videos on it, interviews, where people can actually come on and listen and get some help that they need. And if they also need some help, they can definitely reach out to me. Send me an email. It's at jennifergill68@gmail.com. And I'll be gladly I can help you. If you just need some pointers or you can't afford the book, let me know.
Nice, nice. And I love that you have a group that you can talk with and share stories. And, you know, sometimes we just need to know we're not alone. We had a bad day and
Yep.
somebody else has that same bad day, and we just need to connect that way. Do you agree?
100%. 100%. So this group is all like these women that are struggling, have gone through this. That's just why we're building a community of solo moms. I haven't come across a dad yet, but the dads are also welcome because maybe the mom is not there, or maybe the mom has left, or she's deceased, or she's in the military. Dads are welcome too. This is all for solo parents.
Yeah, and dads can give a different perspective. You can have the mom perspective and the dad perspective, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Nice. And so, what is the name of your podcast?
It is solo parent.
Solo Parent.
Yeah.
And what do you talk about? What kinds of things do you talk about on your podcast?
We basically talk about the struggles. Like I've got some doctor's pointers. So if some kids have learning disabilities with ADHD, or they have Other issues, autism. Um, I've got a like financial, like I've interviewed this guy last week where he actually shows us how to get scholarships or go to university because single moms can't afford going to school, having the kids go to school because the tuition is high. So he breaks down how the mom can go and to talk to these schools to get discounts on schools so that the child can go onto schools.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I just want to kind of share my podcast. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's
Okay.
got, sorry, it's kind of,
No, that's you.
yeah. I've got my solo parent and I've got a picture of myself on there on the Apple podcast.
Yeah. Oh, we can get an Apple podcast.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, this is wonderful, Jennifer, and I'm so
Uh,
excited for our listeners to hear this and for you to share. Um, do you have any last minute, uh, strategies, techniques, words of wisdom?
I just want to say you're not alone. Hang in there because at the end, when your children are older, they've gone to school, they're started, it's amazing what you've accomplished and you've gone done through your life with struggles. Pat yourself on the back and be happy. Don't give up. And there's a whole community there waiting to join you.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. And listeners, make sure that you check Jennifer out at her podcast, Solo Parent, the book Solo Parenting. Go on Facebook, look up Solo Parent for the group, get involved and meet some new people and make some new friends. And Jennifer, I thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Okay, and just remember guys, you do not have to suffer alone. Thank you.